fourth graders. Today we're going to look at your next assignment, which is a writing assignment, the Wisconsin Region Persuasive Essay. And I want you to know that even though this is a writing assignment, and it's a pretty big assignment, this is really meant to be fun. Because we have been learning about Wisconsin, and this is such a great state to live in. And I want us to be able to explore it. And explore it so that maybe someday you can go visit some of the places that people will be researching. So each person has been given a different city and region in Wisconsin. Now we're not covering all of Wisconsin. I pretty much went at least an hour and a half away for all the different regions because I believe many of us have explored this region that's close to Wisconsin. So our regions and our cities are quite a ways away when we're talking about, it's not something that we just go for an afternoon. This would be something that we would probably either make a full day trip out of, or we might make a weekend. So in order to view this video and have all the information you'll need, you are going to need the documents that I sent along in your packet. And those documents are the cover letter, that on top of yours would include your city and your region, and on the back of that document is the actual map. And I'm going to go over each one of these separately. I just want to make sure that you have these documents right now with you. The other document that you're going to need is Mrs. Beta's example. So the one that I wrote about north central Wisconsin, you're going to want that document handy while you watch this video. The other one is the graphic organizer. It's the one that has the questions that you'll be answering. So you're going to want this document as we're watching the video. And then the last document you'll want is the evaluation. It's the one that has the rubric for this grading, the grading of this assignment. So I'm going to go through this with you so that you understand each of the different parts. So you're going to want to have these documents. And I'm going to go now to the board. I'm going to read over this cover page with you, just because I think that's going to be helpful. At the top, you should find your city and region that you were given. If you flip over this cover page, you will see a map. And on the map, you have been given a specific region. I am going to take this region over here, which got cut off, because I want to explain that. I believe Jada has this region over here. This is Door County. So Jada, you're going to need to look at another map and see all of the region, because this stretches way up all the way into Lake Michigan, where there's an island called Washington Island. So her region is right here. She shouldn't go past the boundaries for her region, because if you notice, especially if we look at the regions over on this eastern part of the state, they are really close together. And we don't want to be going into each other's regions and doubling up. We want to stay within our region. So you'll notice that each of you have a different region. Now I want to point out a couple different things. First of all, in every region, there is a city that is circled. So you'll notice I'm going to go down here to this bottom region, number 10. I believe this is Isabella's region. Isabella, you'll notice that you have this whole southeastern bottom portion of Wisconsin. There are two really big cities, Racine and Kenosha down here. But the city I want you to research is actually circled here. It's Lake Geneva. And the reason why is because the purpose for this essay, fourth graders, is not to research a big city. That's not the purpose. Remember, we talk about as writers, what is the purpose for why we're writing? The purpose is because we are trying to encourage people to visit a place, to be a tourist. Well, Lake Geneva is a really, it's well known for being a nice tourist area to visit. So Isabella, you are researching actually Lake Geneva rather than even the bigger cities of Racine and Kenosha. However, if you look at most of the regions, our largest city in the region is going to be the one that you're researching. So if we look here in Region 4, it's Green Bay. In this region, it's Appleton. This region is Oshkosh. We have Madison. We have one of the largest cities over here in this region right here. I believe this is Lincoln's. You have Prairie du Chien, and again, it's because it's a pretty significant city to Wisconsin. So that is one thing I wanted to make sure that you understand, is that you stay within the boundaries of your region. And then for that one part of your essay where you are researching the city, you're going to research the city that's circled. However, you're going to want to look all throughout your region for touristy things to do. So not just in that particular city. So you should have a city and region. It says the directions. You will research the assigned city and region to gather information to write an informational, persuasive essay. Please make sure to answer every question on the attached graphic organizer. I'm going to talk about that. You have been given a main city within the region to research. In most cases, it is the largest city or the one with the most history in the region. So in other words, it's going to be the one where it has the most tourism. Your essay will be written in the second person point of view. You will be addressing the reader. We're going to read through my example. So it asks you to read through my example and notice how I write, you can do this. Your family will enjoy this. It is very, very important, fourth graders, that this essay is written in second person point of view, because we have not written one, and this is a requirement for fourth grade, is that you need to know how to write in the second person point of view. So let's just look at my essay. So if you could take out the Wausau, the North Central Wisconsin Wausau essay that Mrs. B wrote. You will notice I'm going to jump down to the third paragraph. So I'm going to read this paragraph, and I'm going to underline the U's so you can see what I'm talking about with second person. It sounds like I'm addressing the reader. There are several major waterways within the city limits. These include the Big Rib River, the Wisconsin River, and Lake Wausau. These waterways are open to the public, so bring your boat, kayak, canoe, or paddleboard to spend time out on the water. If a walk along a beautiful river is something you enjoy, just a short drive to the northeast of town will bring you to the Dells of the Eau Claire. Stunning views of rock formations with rushing water will make your riverside hike one to remember. This park also has a picnic area, playground, swimming beach, and reservable campsites. So that is what I am talking about, fourth graders, when I talk about second person point of view. You are addressing the reader. You're inviting them to do something. So remember about the purpose of this writing. It is to try to persuade people that your region, that your city, that whole area is the best place to come and visit. Okay, going back now to your cover letter. So back to this cover letter that had your region and city on the top. I'm reading from this paragraph. It says, the smartest way to write your essay is to pretend that the reader of your essay is a tourist who is trying to decide the best weekend getaway in Wisconsin. This means you want to make your city and region as inviting to a future tourist as possible while being truthful. A persuasive essay is built on factual information. You cannot make anything up. But what you can do is take the things that are in your region, the touristy things to do, and make them sound inviting, exciting, something that the person would want to do. Okay, going back to my essay again. So take the Wausau essay out. And I'm going to go back to this third paragraph again. I'm going to go to this last few sentences here. Look how Mrs. B describes the Dells of the Eau Claire. Stunning views of rock formations with rushing water will make your riverside hike one to remember. That is all truthful. There are beautiful rock formations out there. There is all that rushing water. I just wanted to make it sound inviting, and I added something at the end. I put a hike that is one to remember. So I'm trying to get them to think, oh yeah, this is something I would love to do. It would be something that would be a cool memory. So that's persuasion. Okay, back to the cover letter. So it says, that is why it is an informational, persuasive essay. You want them to think your region is the best in Wisconsin. The attached graphic organizer will be a great tool to gather information to use in your persuasive essay. The organizer is going to be due on Monday, 4/27. I want you to make sure it's completely filled out. And I really want you to have fun, fourth graders, while you're doing this and you're researching it, to find out about this region. This is someplace for some of you that might be completely new. You might want to visit it after you research it. So please have fun with this. But now I would like for you to take out that graphic organizer. It looks like this. So it's the graphic organizer that looks like this. You can research everything using the internet. Okay? You should be able to find all the information using the internet. Mrs. B would normally have like tourist brochures sent to you, but guess what? The tourist bureaus are shut down. Okay? I tried calling them and they are closed due to the safer at home. And so they just are not open. I can't get that information to you. But I went on my iPad and I typed in city information and I found everything I needed. So you should be able to do that for the cities and the main city that you're researching. You can use the internet. Just make sure it's a reputable source. Okay, so just make sure that it's one that you feel. Good ones are like the government research sites. A lot of times it'll be like the county, so like Marathon County for Wausau, Marathon County Historical Society. I found some things there for Wausau. And then just like the tourist bureaus, those are usually have a .org ending, and so those are very reputable websites. I think you'll know what is a reputable and what's not a reputable website, okay? Businesses, no. Like, so if it's a business site that comes up, that's not going to be reputable. You're going to want to, like, as far as your city information, okay? Now, once you start researching, like, things to do, like Mrs. B can go on Sam's Pizza. Once I found Sam's Pizza, okay, then I can go on Sam's Pizza's website and I can find out what you can do. But we can't use Sam's Pizza's website to find out information about, like, the city of Wausau. Is everyone catching that? Okay. So the reputable websites for finding, like, the basic information need to be either, like, sometimes it's a Chamber of Commerce, sometimes it's a tourist information, sometimes it's just a city history site. And then from there, you can go to more of the detailed, like, different businesses. So you're going to fill out this graphic organizer, and I think the easiest way to do it is ask the Google question. What county is Wausau in? Wausau, Wisconsin in? And it'll come up with the answer. So all you'll need to do is just ask your questions to Google. and you should come up with your answers. Okay, back to the cover letter. So I have included the grading evaluation form for your essay because this is going to help you. When you read through this paragraph, you'll realize you're writing 9 different paragraphs. Fourth graders, that sounds like a lot, but it really will not be a lot because I have laid it out step by step for you. So don't be nervous about that, okay? 9 paragraphs seems like a lot, but it is laid right out for you. You'll be able to just write it out, especially if you do a really good job with filling out your graphic organizer. This will be a piece of cake for you. So the grading evaluation, if you could take that sheet out. The grading evaluation looks like this. And you'll see that I actually gave you paragraph 1. What do I want in paragraph 1? That's your introductory paragraph. If you look at Mrs. B's example, it's that first paragraph where I try and catch the reader's attention. Up, up, up you climb. You climb all the way to the top of the Red Mountain State Park Observation Tower. So you can see that's my catch, that's my hook. And then I go through and I just tell you, how many sentences should you have? This is in your first paragraph. You should have 3 to 4 sentences. In your second paragraph, this is all your background information about your city. How many sentences? About 5 to 6. The outdoor recreation, the museums, the restaurants, the parks that are in your area. Interesting facts about your area. Let's see, festivals, sporting competitions, and then your closing or concluding paragraph. So those are your 9 paragraphs. And then the other thing you're going to be graded on is your editing. How well do you do with making things capitalized, using the correct grammar, your punctuation and your spelling. And then this is a persuasive essay. So you are going to be graded on, does it sound persuasive or is it just informational? We've already done an informational essay. It's your biography report. Okay, you've already written that. I don't need to see another informational essay. Now I need to see a persuasive essay. So that's where this comes in. I need to know that you know how to write to make things sound inviting. So that is your Wisconsin region city project. Now, you might still be saying, oh, Mrs. B, this just seems like a lot of work. I'm going to walk you through it. I'm going to help you. When we meet conferencing, I'm going to sit down with you and I'll say, oh, let me look at your graphic organizer. What do you have on there? And I'm going to help you because you know Mrs. B has been just about what? Everywhere. And I can tell you, I have been to every region that I have assigned all of you in 4th grade. I have been to every single region that I've assigned. So I know of certain things in different parts. Like I know that for whoever has the one that has Ashland and Bayfield and the Apostle Islands, there is the coolest diner that I will tell you about up in that area. Okay, it's actually the owner of Jimmy John's, the big, huge franchise of Jimmy John's. It's a friend of his. So I know different things. I know down by Prairie du Chien, and in that region, there's the coolest, like, mining town you can visit. I have been to Lake Geneva, and there are some really cool things to do there. I have been all over Door County, Green Bay, Appleton. I have a cabin up north, so I know that whole Northwoods. 4th graders, I will be a huge help for you, but I do need for you to do the basic work. So this week, couple weeks, as you're working on that graphic organizer, write down all the information you can think of. So if you find a restaurant that's really cool, write it in there. it's not going to hurt, right? Or if you find a park that you think is really cool, write it down on that graphic organizer. You cannot have too much information for a persuasive essay. What we will do is if you have a lot of information, Mrs. B will just help you pick out the most important. Or I'm going to help you to say, oh, I think this would be like what a tourist would like. So I'm going to help you on this. I am excited because then at the very end, fourth graders, what we're going to do is we're going to create a booklet that says the fourth grade tour guide to Wisconsin. And we're going to hand that out to everyone so that if your family would like to take a weekend getaway, they have some information. And it's your personal, right, information to them. I am so looking forward to reading through what you come up with on your graphic organizers and then helping you start writing this persuasive paper. I know you will enjoy it. Okay, so I will be conferencing with you separately on this, but this is your video to have as an introduction to the writing. Miss you guys. Bye.